Thank you, Anna, for doing this interview with me for my film class. This interview is going to be about your journey to Ohio.
My pleasure, Dominic. You're welcome.
And you are from the Caribbean. What brought you here to Ohio, and what year was that?
Well, I came to Ohio in 2002. I wanted to learn English, so as a second language. And being from the Dominican Republic at the time when I was going to school, French was actually the main second language to study while you were in high school and college. But I wanted to learn English, and that's basically the reason why I wanted to come to the United States. Choosing Ohio, I knew about the state. I had a friend, childhood friend, that was actually already enrolled at Ohio Dominican University. So that's how I decided to come to this particular state. You want to go to the environment that you're familiar with, but within time, if you put the hard work, you're going to be learning, you're going to be better at it, you will be able to communicate. If you're pursuing a career, just continue to do that. Staying focused will be the main thing, but don't give up. It was food. I was missing homemade meals. That was actually the case. I was introduced to a lot of new meals, such as a burger or fries or having a burrito for breakfast. That wasn't the norm for me, so that was one of the biggest adjustments at first as far as like my diet. From there, the way we do things, it was more on a structured environment. I had to adjust to that, having multiple classes, running from one building to the other, and the challenge of not being able to communicate clearly at the time, that was the biggest challenge. The weather was challenging, but it was also interesting. It was going to be my first time knowing and touching and getting to see snow. So I was very excited about that. I remember coming to Ohio in August of 2002, and soon, end of November was probably the first time that I saw snow. But despite the challenges in the weather, the cultural shock, being unable to communicate with people, very, very challenging. At the time, being unable to see my family, not being able to experience family time was very, very hard. Main inspiration, I wanted to do good in college. I wanted to feel prepared. I wanted to be successful in my career for my future. I knew learning English was going to be key in finding me a job. At the time, I was planning on going back home, despite whether or not I decided to stay. It was something that was much needed for a career success.
Did you ever travel to the U.S. prior to this?
Once, yeah. I was actually visiting family in Puerto Rico, the island of Puerto Rico within the Caribbean. But as far as like being in the mainland, no. Coming to Ohio was the first experience. Zero. You know, I knew the basics as far as like popular signs and kid sign and, you know, door and window and floor and things like that. But as far as like really knowing the actual structure of the language, or knowing pronunciation and writing and the rules and all that, no. I didn't really have any prior experience, so nothing really. I wouldn't change anything because I had good and bad experiences, and from the good, I had a lot of good memories and joy. And for the hard ones or the bad ones, if you want to name it that way, a lot of lessons learned. So yeah, I wouldn't really change anything. It has been a wonderful journey.
Thank you, Anna, for doing this interview with me.